In your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, you deserve to live your best life. Say goodbye to preconceived notions and let's shatter those stereotypes together. Get ready to own your vitality because age, well, that's just a number.
Hey everybody, it's BJ.
And Ruth.
And we're back talking all things health and fitness. And today we're going to talk about the top 10 benefits of strength training. Mm-hmm. So there's probably, hundreds of benefits.
I was going to say tons of them, but we're going to hit the top 10.
But we're going to hit what we think are the top 10 benefits of strength training. And you should qualify, strength training here doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to the gym all the time. You can do strength training at home. You can do strength training as part of just everyday life, where maybe it's something you do at work at lunch, but it's not necessarily at a gym.
Right.
So, we want to talk about it from just the overall benefit of it, and really to encourage all of you watching that regardless of where you're at, whatever age you're at, that you can start now. If you haven't. And if you have and you're already doing it, this will hopefully just encourage you to keep going.
Keep going. Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So,
keep going.
Yeah. So before we get into all of that, real quick, give us a like for the video and subscribe to the channel. That just helps us out. We are putting out more and more content every week, and lots of different stuff coming up. So you don't want to miss anything. So subscribe and you'll get everything. So
and if there's anything people want us to touch on and talk about, put it in the comments and we will certainly look at it.
Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. So okay, so let's go. Number one benefit of strength training is you're going to keep, retain, add muscle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Use it or lose it.
Yeah.
So just keep it.
Yeah. Right?
Maintain
From the
it.
time that you turn 30, every decade thereafter, you lose 3 to 5%. There's some studies that say 3 to 8%, but let's just say somewhere in the 3 to 8%, 3 to 5% range, you lose that amount of muscle mass every decade.
Yep.
Okay. And then it accelerates after 60. So,
great.
Right? So, if you're not doing something to stop that from happening, it's just going to continue.
It's going to continue. So, yeah.
Right?
We don't want that to happen.
And that's never good. That's not a good thing at all. So it's going to help you with age-related muscle loss. It's going to help you with being able to do everything that you want to do. I heard somebody say, why would I want to be, they picked the number, I think it was 80 or 90 years old, they said, why would I want to be that age if I can't do anything? Physically, if they're not physically capable. And so, right?
The idea is that you can still keep doing stuff.
Yeah, and the other part is, as we do this, not only will you keep muscle, you can add muscle, right? We know that. You can add muscle in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, and,
I did
beyond. So, So
I never started until I was 40. Yep.
Okay, number 2, it improves bone density.
Sure does.
Right?
Yeah.
And this one's huge. Sometimes we think, bone density, that's a thing for the women, but it's not just for women. Here's an interesting stat. Let me just read this right off of. Osteoporosis affects over 200 million people globally, with 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men over 50 at risk of an osteoporotic fracture. And that's from the International Osteoporosis Foundation. So 1 in 5 men and 1 in 3 women are at risk of basically having some kind of fracture because of bone density issues.
Bone density, yeah.
And so...
That's big.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's huge. As we age, we want to have strong bones. We want to have strong muscles, obviously, but we want to have strong bones. And so resistance training will keep us out of that place or help us stay out of that place. There may be other issues that we need to look at, but and we've said this before, if you need to talk to a doctor about where you're at so you can start your program appropriately with the appropriate level of intensity and weights and everything else, and you're just starting out, that's probably a good idea.
Oh yeah, of course.
So we know where we're coming from. All right, benefit number 3, we boost metabolism. So again, metabolism is related to muscle mass.
Yep.
okay, the muscle that we have. So if we're increasing muscle, we are going to increase our metabolism. But here's the thing. On average, according to the American Council on Exercise, 2 to 3%, people lose 2 to 3% of their metabolic rate every decade after, are you ready? 20.
Okay.
After your 20s.
Huh. Who knew?
Right? So
I did not know that.
Right. So 2 to 3%. So that's a pretty significant amount if you think about it. And again, it'll accelerate after 60.
Right. And I think for women, we all always feel it decreases after menopause. So that's something for us to keep in mind as well.
Sure. Okay. All right. Number 4, strength training improves joint flexibility, and improves joint mobility and strength. That one's pretty straightforward, right? And some people think, well, how is that possible if I'm taking my, they get worried about being quote unquote muscle bound. But really, when you do appropriate strength training, we go for a full range of motion. So you're taking your muscles and your joints through a full range of motion under control, with good form. If it's a weight-bearing exercise, with appropriate weight, so that then your muscles are getting used to going through that full range of motion. Your joints are getting used to going back through that full range of motion. And so you're going to improve both accordingly, right? Yeah. So here's another interesting stat. Research shows that strength training can reduce joint pain by up to 43%, particularly in people with arthritis, according to the Arthritis Foundation. That's a pretty significant number, 43%.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah. So it's the strength training is going to strengthen the joints. It's going to strengthen the muscle around the joints.
The cartilage, the ligaments, everything. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Number 5, it improves balance and reduces the risk of falling.
And we all know as we get older, falling hurts.
Yeah. Unless your name is Ruth, in which case you go out walking your dog.
And she's 55 pounds. She wants to go that way. We go that way. I'm thinking we're going the other way.
For those of you who don't know, you can find it in one of our previous episodes. Ruth had fallen and wasn't good.
No, it wasn't good.
So, okay.
Falling hurts.
So statistically right now, approximately 1 in 4 adults over the age of 65 will experience a fall of some kind.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and falls are the leading cause of injury as we age.
I believe it.
Right?
Yeah.
So what we're talking about doing is enhancing core stability. That's the, this core, as we work out, improve coordination and strengthen muscles to keep us upright.
Yep.
By doing that, we reduce the risk of falling. Okay. That one's pretty straightforward. All right. Number 6, and we've talked about this one extensively, improves mental health, right? So we talk a lot about physical health and the physical benefits of training, but we've spent some time talking also about the mental, emotional health and how that is helped and improved by the exertion, by the exercise, by having a release for those things. And I know, and Ruth, I'm sure you would say the same thing, that there have been times where we've gone through challenging things. We all do. But going to the gym for me was a huge help to get through that.
I call it my mental therapy.
Right?
House.
It's like our safe place, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, and here's what the research numbers look like. That strength training has been shown to reduce symptoms of depression by up to 43%, according to Harvard Medical School.
That big numbers there.
That's a huge number. So, strength training, we know, reduces stress, anxiety, symptoms of depression. One of the things it does is because we have a release of endorphins, we have a release of feel-good hormones as a result of the training, and obviously that's going to have an effect. All right, number 7, and I guess this one's a little bit more obvious, I would call it more obvious, is it improves heart health.
Oh, yeah, heart's a muscle.
Right?
Use it.
So, improving heart health. So, again, let me read some of these stats here. Strength training can reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 40% and lower the risk of dying from a heart attack or heart disease by 70%, according to the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research. I think that's pretty simple. Just
I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Regular strength training will improve your blood pressure, will improve circulation, will help reduce cholesterol or have appropriate cholesterol levels, and have a healthier heart.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. And, I can tell you from experience that I have, a family history, but I did at one time, but I do not today, and I'm not taking any medication. I do not have high blood pressure, and I do check it, pretty regularly.
Yeah.
I do not have any health issues associated with blood pressure, heart, any of those things, but I did at one time.
Yeah.
Right? I had to address those things and make some changes, lifestyle changes, and here I am.
And I'm where you're at. I don't have any of those issues either. But that's not to say I don't have anything. I just don't. I use fitness to keep me where I want to be.
Yeah. Okay. Number 8 enhances cognitive function. Mm-hmm. So that really comes down to our ability to think, our ability to be rational and rationalize. And the stats again are, and this is from the National Institute of Health. Strength training can reduce cognitive decline by up to 37% in older adults. So strength training is linked to better memory, better cognitive function, brain health, increases blood flow, and promotes the growth of new neurons in our brain.
Yep.
So these are all hugely significant things to think about as we are talking about, because what we're seeing here is it's not just one thing that strength training is good for.
No, it's everything.
Yeah. And we've done several episodes on this. Number 9 is it improves the quality of sleep. Mm-hmm. Right? So this one's great. Sleep Medicine Reviews says that strength training can improve sleep quality by up to 38%. So it makes it easier to fall asleep, have a deeper sleep, have more restful and restorative sleep.
Yep.
That's pretty significant for just going and,
because a lot of us, as we age, we find sleep more challenging.
Yeah.
So naturally, It's just more challenging.
Yep, for sure. Okay, and number 10, strength training enhances longevity and independence. As we just said.
Because we can still do stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And we talked about strength training and improvement in our mobility, in our mental acuity. All of these things obviously all work together. But the studies show that strength training at a minimum of twice a week will, let me just read it. Because this is a great number too. Mm-hmm. Okay. Older adults who strength train at least twice a week have a 46% lower risk of all-cause mortality, according to preventive medicine. So it improves quality of life. It helps us stay independent. So in other words, we're more mobile and able to do things, so we don't need to be put in a situation where we have to be cared for. Right. And so I think that's one thing too. As we age, we want to be independent. We want to be able to do things, go places, all of those things as we want to.
Not have those things taken away from us because we can't function.
Yeah, 100%.
Anymore. Yeah.
And, I think if we were to put all those things together, we recognize the huge value of strength training.
Yeah.
Right? And so for you need to start. Here's the thing: if you're not doing something right now, start where you're at. But the big thing is start.
Well, yeah. Don't beat yourself up because you're not. Just start. Just start. Don't even take the time to plan it too much and just never get. Just do it. Just actually start it.
And the other thing with that is be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
It's I was just listening to something, and this is probably something we can talk about on a different day, but listening to a book about how our brains function and how when we're not kind to ourselves, we don't change in that atmosphere. right? We don't, our brains are not in a position to change, or not in a position. They're not wired to change at that point when we're hard on ourselves. So if you need to get going, if you need to start again, if you need to, amp up what you're doing, just do that, but don't be hard on yourself to do it.
No, exactly.
Right? So start where you're at. If you're doing it already, keep going strong, keep going to the gym, keep working on your nutrition plan, keep setting those goals and going after it and getting after it. Because like we say in the channel, we want to grow old gracefully. Right?
Yeah.
So thank you for watching today. If you haven't, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. That helps us out a ton. And if you know anybody that you think, hey, they need to listen to what you guys are talking about, whether it's this or we talk about all sorts of different things on the channel, everything from sleep to supplements with creatine and protein powder to different training methodologies and different the value of this versus that, doing this versus that, and obviously today about the importance of weight training. So let them know, because we want to make sure that if we can help them and inspire them, inform them, that we get to do that. So thanks for watching. See ya.
See ya.